Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Agri Addict. Today in this session we are going to talk about two different exams, that is, one is ASRB NET and second, that is ICAR PhD entrance. So regarding these two exams, both are you can do after MSc. That is, ASRB NET, it is an exam which you can apply or you can do for after completing your MSc, and to crack this exam, what are the books needed and what is actually the syllabus, all these things will be discussed. So also to crack the ICAR PhD entrance exam, the similar way, what are the books needed and what is the syllabus and what is the difference between these two, that is ASRB NET and ICAR PhD entrance exam. All these things will be discussed in this video. So please stay on the videos and complete it till the end. And so what do you think by ASRB NET? It's an exam, it's a national level eligibility exam. After if you crack this exam, so you will have a chance to apply for assistant professor posts in different universities in India. And what is the ICAR PhD entrance? This entrance also you will be able to give after completing your MSc, so that you can get a chance to pursue PhD in any other ICAR institutes or any state agricultural universities or central agricultural universities. Okay, so let us start with today's discussion, the details about the ASRB NET and ICAR PhD examination, and what is the difference and what is their syllabus and what are the book needed to be to crack this exam. So let us start. First of all, let us know about ASRB NET examination. So what do you think? First, whenever you want to crack any exam, first you need to know about that exam. So what is ASRB NET? The mode of exam is online and it's a LAN based CBT, that is computer based test. So there will be no hard copy examination there. Okay, all these things will be in soft copies. That means the computer based test, that the total duration of the test is 2 hours and the number of questions will be 150. All the questions will be coming in a single paper, right? And what is the type of question? The type is all MCQ. So you need not to read any long questions, or you need not to prepare any long questions, only prepare for the MCQs, or this type of questions will only be asked in ASRB NET, where you will be given 4 options and you need to choose only one option. So the exam will be on single option correct MCQs. So total score 150 marks. That means 1 marks for each question, right? And there will be negative marking. So how much negative? For each and every wrong answer, the negative marking will be 1/3. Okay, and 0 for non-attempt. So if you are not able to attempt any questions, so you will get 0 mark for that. So what is the medium of the paper? You will be having English and Hindi. So please note it down. Regarding ASRB NET, there will be 2 mediums. One will be English another one will be in Hindi. So aspirants or students, you will be able to give exam in any of this language. Now the age limit. So the minimum age limit is 21 years. So at least you need to complete 21 years of your age, and there is no maximum limit. So you can be able to give exams up to any year. But one thing is important, you need to complete your MSc, that is masters, to get the net certificate, right? So how many number of attempts? No restriction again. So you can give the number of attempts as many as you want. Now the most important thing, what is the syllabus, right? So the question paper of the test shall be based on the syllabus of the subjects, which is prescribed in ASRB, that is Agricultural Science Recruitment Board. So here in this link you will get the actual syllabus. So far it is concerned that in recent years ASRB has changed their syllabus a little bit, but in clicking this link you will get the syllabus, right? And what is the difference between ASRB net with other net exams like CSIR or UGC? So what is the difference? The difference is ASRB will be having only one time in a year, while these two exams may happen more than one time in a year. So in recent years, mostly during the post-COVID time, the continuity of the exam, that is ASRB net, is little bit not continuous, but generally it will occur this year. Most probably it will occur in February or March onwards, and when the things will get normal, that is in every year ASRB will release the notification for net exam, then only we can expect that the exam will be held during December or January. Okay. So next is, what is the eligibility? The first eligibility is MSc, and as we are only talking about entomology or agricultural entomology, so to crack this exam or to attend this exam in agricultural entomology, you need to have some sorts of eligibility criteria which should be fulfilled. So what are those criteria? First, you need to have a master's degree. In which subjects? See, agriculture, or it may be entomology, it may be zoology, it may be sericulture, it may be apiculture, it may be plant protection with specialization with agricultural entomology. So this is the eligibility criterion of ASRB net in agricultural entomology. So what are the subjects? One is MSc in agriculture, entomology, zoology also, sericulture, apiculture, and plant protection. So these are the 6 groups where you should have your master's degree. Next, the most important thing, what is the exam pattern? As we have already mentioned, it is a land-based CBT test and total duration is 2 hours. Okay. So let's talk about ICAR PhD exam. We have completed ASRB net and this is ICAR PhD exam. So what is the difference between ASRB net and ICAR PhD? Let us clear in this slide onwards. So like ASRB net, ICAR PhD will also be occurring in land-based CBT mode and the duration of exam is 2 hours. So total number of questions will be 120. In ASRB, we are having 150 questions. And in PhD entrance, we are having 120 questions. And in this 120 questions will be divided in 3 groups. Group A, Group B, Group C, or Part A, Part B, Part C. So in Part A, there will be 20 questions. In Part B, there will be 50 and rest 50 will be in Part C. So let us discuss about these parts. Part A contains your general knowledge, reasoning ability, as well as general agriculture. So what are the things that may come in this group? Anything that may come. That may be general agriculture, that may be your general awareness, it may come general affairs, mostly at the national level, current affairs, both agriculture and non-agriculture related. Then it may come with history of India, because you know India is having a very rich history. It may come with any geography. It come under economics also, or else the very normal reasoning type of questions. So all these things may come in this group. In general awareness, maybe polity. It will be a great addition. Most of the time there will be 2 to 3 questions that directly comes from polity. So all these things will be coming in Part A. And let's understand what about Part B. So Part B is nothing but the core group. So what do you mean by core group? Let us see this one. See, the core group is written over here. So as we talk about entomology, so this will be in crop science 2. Here it is entomology. So core groups mean you will be write exam on crop science 2. So whatever subjects are there in crop science 2, that is plant pathology, nematology, entomology and sericulture. From all these 4 subject groups, Part B questions will take place. And how many number of questions? This will be 50 number of questions, right? So next about Part C. Part C means your specialized subject. Like we are talking about entomology, so all the questions will be coming from entomology itself. Now generally the thing students used to ask, what is the difference between Part B and Part C? So as we have mentioned, that is Part C is typically based on your PhD subject, that is entomology, and Part B will be from your core group. So generally it is not always true, but generally Part B questions is quite easy compared to Part C. Therefore, we recommend you to see the subjects of Part B, that is core group, and their syllabus, so that you can choose the book accordingly. No need to worry about, because in this video we will be talking about all the books that is needed for Part B and Part C itself. So stay tuned with us. So what are the type of questions? There may be, this is a multiple choice of questions, again with 4 options will be there, and total number is 480. So per question there is 4 marks, and for each wrong answer 1 mark will be deducted. So here is the difference between ASRB NET and ICAR PhD. If we want to see, ASRB and ICAR PhD, so what are the things? Here 150 questions, here 120 questions, total marks will be 150, here it is 480, negative marking 1/3 in ASRB and negative marking in PhD is -1. So this is the difference in marks. And another important thing is the medium of the paper will be in English only, not in Hindi. So ASRB will be in English as well as Hindi, but PhD entrance will be on English only. So you need to read all the subjects in English, right? Now the exam pattern, which is the question for many of the students. So as I have mentioned that there are 3 subsections in ICAR PhD, section A, section B and section C. All this detail that I have mentioned here. So the thing which can draw your interest is this section A, that is first 20 questions will be same for all the aspirants, irrespective of whatever subject they have. So all it is common to all the 72 specialized subjects. Okay. Next, section B, there will be 50 MCQs, which will be from the core group. So whosoever student is appearing this exam, maybe entomology, maybe plant pathology, maybe nematology, maybe sericulture, this 50 question is same for those students. And section C, that is having again 50 questions, and this will be different for each and every one, because it will directly come from your specialized subject. So here is a brief, core groups and their subject, and we only talk about 2.3, that is entomology, in detail. So this video will be helpful for those students who are going to appear ICAR PhD or ASRB NET exam in the subject entomology. Now the question that generally occurs in students' mind, that how is the competition? How many students are compete for this exam? So in the last year, that means 2024 and 25, the total number of seats in different ICAR institutes as well as state and central agricultural universities under ICAR category is 113 seats, right? Among them, 21 seats are having ICAR fellowship seats, right? So in this 21 seats, UR is 16, SC seats are 3 and ST seats are 2. So whosoever are competing for this exam, 113 seats are there. So roughly you can tell that 100 plus seats will be there, of which near about 20 plus seats will be for ICAR fellowship. So this is your competition and you need to prepare accordingly. Now this we have taken from NTA as well as our previous experiences, that generally in the last year, in 2023, total 8,880 students have appeared for PhD entrance, which is completely you can tell that 1/3 people of this PG exam. So one thing you can clearly see that the competition is quite less in PhD as compared to ICAR PG entrance exam. So within this 8,880 people, how many entomology students are you expecting? It maybe it within 500 students, roughly we can tell 500 students are there, and maybe within 500 students, how many are seriously preparing for these exams? Maybe 250 students. So within these students, maybe one is you. So you need to prepare accordingly to get a seat and also to get the ICAR fellowship for 3 years. So what is the eligibility? One thing, you need to complete MSc with a OGPA. So generally most of the cases 10-point scale is considered. So for general OBC, UPS and EWS, there is a OGPA of 6.5, and for SC, ST, PWD at third gender, there will be a lowest OGPA of 5.5. So moreover, you can tell that more than 6.5 OGPA for general, OBC, UPS and EWS, and more than 5.5 OGPA for SC, ST, PWD and third gender is the lowest criteria to be eligible for this exam. Now if you are getting score in percentage, so for general, OBC, EPS and EWS, you need to have 60% of marks in MSc, and for SC, ST, PWD and third gender, you will be having 50% of marks to be eligible for this examination. Now the general eligibility for this exam, the thing is very simple. We have only given few important points over here. All the things will be available in ICAR PhD brochure, which will be given, the link will be given in the description box, so you can see from there. The main thing is you need to complete 10 plus 2, that is 11th and 12th, plus 4 years degree course, that is BSc, with a 2 years masters. This is the eligibility criteria for ICAR PhD examination. For certain courses like some biochemistry courses and some IRA specialist courses, there they will consider 3 years BSc degree, but that is not applicable for entomology. Then for entomology, if you want to write ICAR PhD, you need to have 10 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2 years degree course, that is 10 years for your matriculation, 2 years for your higher secondary, then 4 years BSc agriculture and 2 years MSc agriculture. So some things are there, you can see number 4, not eligible, some except few courses specified at IRA and NDRI only. Anyway, it is not needed for your entomology exam. So you need to complete 4-year BSc degree course. Now the age limit for PhD exam, the lowest age will be 20 years, whereas in case of ASRB it was 21 years. However, there is no maximum limit, so you can attempt this exam at any age. Now the thing is the scholarship. So generally ICAR will provide the scholarship to how many students? 21 students which we have mentioned. So what is the scholarship criteria? The scholarship criteria is something like this. After completion of your admission in PhD, you will be given 37,000 per month for first 2 years, that is first year and second year. This is known as JRF fellowship, that is junior research fellowship. And in the last year, that is in the third year, you will be given 42,000 per month for third year, and it is considered as SRF fellowship. So ICAR will give you this amount for 3 years, unlike UGC or TST Inspire. They will give you the fellowship for 5 years, but ICAR will give you the fellowship for 3 years. So this is an important thing to be notified. Now, what are the type of questions that can be asked in ICAR PhD exam? The thing is, there are generally 4 to 5 type of questions that is asked by NTA ICAR PhD examination. First one is the direct multiple choice questions, where they will give you some one-liners and 4 options. You need to choose one option only. Second type of question is the statement based questions. So they will give you statement 1 and statement 2, and based on this statement they will be given 4 options. Maybe both are correct, maybe both are wrong, maybe only first statement is correct, maybe second statement is correct. So this type of questions will be asked. Third type of question is the match the following. So they will be given column A and column B, and you need to match. And the fourth type is the assertion reason. Maybe they will give an assertion, they will give a reason, and give you 4 options. Maybe both assertion reason correct, maybe both are wrong, maybe assertion is correct, reason is wrong, and another thing, maybe assertion is correct and reason is wrong. So this type of questions will be there. Sometimes assertion reason question will be like this: both assertion and reason are correct, but reason is not the correct for the reason is not the actual reason for this assertion, or reason is the actual reason for this assertion. So this kind of options might be given. Another type of question which is very common is nowadays, that is sequence type of questions. Maybe they will give you 4 to 5 important events in entomology. So you'll be given like this: please arrange this in correct sequence. So you need to arrange it. Suppose first event occurred in 1780, second event occurred in 1880, like that, and you need to arrange it as a sequence. So like this type of questions might be asked in ICAR PhD examination. But as compared to ICAR PhD, ASRB, they generally asked direct multiple choice questions. They generally do not ask you regarding statements, assertion reason, or sequence type of questions. Most of these questions are direct MCQs. So this is different from ICAR PhD. So as you come to know that in ICAR PhD there will be having different type of questions. So definitely the level of the questions will be high. So if you are preparing for ICAR PhD, so you need to prepare all these concepts very clearly. And if you prepare ICAR PhD, then simultaneously you are preparing for ASRB NET also, because anyway ICAR PhD the questions will be a little bit higher as compared to ASRB. Now what is the syllabus under entomology? So as I have mentioned, the subject groups, that is crop science 2, crop Science 2. So subject group, the major subject is entomology and the minor subjects are plant pathology, nematology, sericulture and general agriculture, general studies. This is needed for part A. So you could see that all this from 2.1 to 2.4, this will be needed for your part B, and only entomology will be needed for your part C. So let us see what is the syllabus. So this is entomology is the major subject, plant pathology, nematology, sericulture, general agriculture, general studies, current affairs. These will all be the minor subjects. So this is the syllabus link given over here. However, it will be given in the description box, so you can download it and check it accordingly. So what is the exam syllabus? So here we shall discuss it unit wise. So there are total 19 units in entomology. So the first unit is systematics and will tell you what are the books needed for this particular part. So systematics and taxonomy, here is the different groups. What are the things that you need to read in this particular unit? So first book that you need to read first is IMS General Textbook of Entomology, Volume 2. It is written by Richards and Davies. So you need to read this book to get a clear-cut idea regarding all these parts in this unit. Now, majority of the cases, what happened, MSc students are busy in their research, so they will not get enough time to complete this. So for this, I can recommend you to go through your class notes for MSc degree. It is always better if you be able to read IMS General Textbook of Entomology Volume 2, but if you don't have enough time, you can go through the class notes for your MSc degree. Apart from these two, you can read a handbook of entomology by Dr. T.V. Prasad sir to cover especially these particular part, that is position of insects in the animal kingdom, that is characteristics of phylum Arthropoda and structural feature of important arthropod groups like Trilobita, Chelicerata and Mandibulata. Also the different classes of phylum Arthropoda, that is Arachnida, Crustacea, Chilopoda, Diplopoda and Hexapoda. For this part, you can specially refer to Handbook of Entomology by Dr. T.V. Prasad sir. But to read about the orders, it always better if you can read IMS General Textbook of Entomology. Next, about morphology. So this morphology, it's a thing which you need to understand very firmly because of their structural importance as well as some concepts. So I always recommend IMS General Textbook of Entomology Volume 1 for this particular part, written by Richards and Davies. Apart from that, you can read the insects structure and function by R.F. Chapman if you feel it quite difficult to read IMS General Textbook of Entomology, because many of the cases students feel difficulty to read this book because of the language. So R.F. Chapman's book is having a very lucid language, so you can read accordingly, but there is no need to read the whole book. The specialized parts that you need to read. Apart from these two, you can also read Handbook of Entomology by Dr. T.V. Prasad sir to get a quick grasp of insect morphology. No need to worry, because all these book links will be given in the description box, so you can check it out. Next, embryology, internal anatomy and physiology. So there are two parts. One is embryology, second one is internal anatomy and physiology. So I am writing as unit 3A and unit 3B. So for 3A, it is recommended to read IMS General Textbook of Entomology, Volume 1, written by Richard and Devious. There you will be having two chapters. One is embryology and post embryonic development. So it is recommended to read these particular two chapters from this book. And for 3B, that is internal anatomy and physiology, it is better to follow the insect's structure and function by R.F. Chapman. And apart from that, you can read Handbook of Entomology by T.P. Prasad sir to get a quick grasp. Next, the very important chapter, that is ecology. And there are many new things in ecology which we generally don't read in our BSc Agriculture degree course. So for that, I prefer one book that is very new, that is Insect Ecology and Behavior by Fani Kumar, CPVG. So they have given all the particular things in a very lucid way. So it is always recommended to follow this particular book for insect ecology. This will be a very lucid, written in a very lucid language. So you can read from this book. Next part, it is unit 5, that is biological control, and no need to read any specified book for this particular part. We are only recommending you read Integrated Pest Management by Dhaliwal and Arora. This book will be enough. If you are able to read this particular book for unit 5, this will be more than enough for ICAR PhD as well as ASRB net. Next, another important chapter is unit 6, that is chemical control and toxicology. For this, many things are there. You need to read a specified book, that is a textbook of insect toxicology by Srivastava and Saxena. So here in this book, you need not to read the structure of different compounds. You need not to read this, but all the other chapters you should read to have a very clear cut concept. Apart from this book, you should read Elements of Economic Entomology by David sir and Rama Murthy sir. So this is a very common book, and you need to read these two particular books for having a very good concept in this particular unit. Next, host plant resistance. Again, you need not to read any specified book for this particular unit. You just read Applied Entomology by D.S. Reddy sir, and second, Handbook of Entomology by T.V. Prasad sir. These two books will be enough to cover the host plant resistance which is needed for ICAR, PhD and ASRB NET exam. Next, the novel approaches in pest control. For this part, you can follow elements of economic entomology by David and Ramamurthy sir. This will be enough to cover novel approaches in pest control. Apart from that, you can also follow Handbook of Entomology by T.V. Prasad sir. Next, for integrated pest management, you need to read these things very clearly because there are lots of concepts to be understood. Generally, what happens, students used to avoid the history, but the sequence type of questions generally come from historical events. So you need to cover history. At the same time, you need to cover different terminologies like ETL, EIL, environmental EIL and all these things. Apart from that, you need to cover plant quarantine laws and regulations. Again, these are the chapters from where these sequence type of questions might come. So for this, you can have many books, but will recommend only one book for this, that is Integrated Pest Management by Thaliwal and Arora. This book will cover each and everything whatever is needed in this particular unit. Next, pesticide application equipment. For this, no need to study any specialized book. You can only read Elements of Economic Entomology, or you can read Applied Entomology by D.S. Reddy. These two books will be enough for completing this particular unit. Now, pest of field crops and their management, where different type of pests will be there, and for this you need to read Elements of Economic Entomology compulsorily, and if you are having less time, then you can follow Applied Entomology by D.S. Reddy. Similarly, for pest of horticultural crops, you can follow Elements of Economic Entomology compulsorily. If you have less time, you can follow Applied Entomology. For pest of stored products, there are 2 points. One is principles of grain storage, storage structures, bulk storage, back storage, their merits, demerits, different grain drying methods, aeration, etc. For this particular part, you should compulsorily read Handbook of Entomology by T.V. Prasad sir, and for rest of the part, you can follow Elements of Economic Entomology or you may follow applied entomology by D.S. Reddy. All these book links will be given in the description box, so you can download it, or you can buy it from that link. For this part, insect mite vectors, this is a very important part, and for this you follow Handbook of Entomology by T.V. Prasad sir. In next unit there is honeybees and beekeeping. You can follow it from Elements of Economic Entomology compulsorily. Now unit 16 contains the silkworm and sericulture. Also, you need to read sericulture as a part of your core group. So I will recommend you need to read sericulture from this book, that is An Introduction to Sericulture by Ganga and Sulochana. So this book covers many things, and you need to read all these things very carefully, and you need to prepare your own notes particularly for sericulture, because there are many things which you cannot be able to remember after reading one time, and it is very difficult to revise it before exams. So you need to make your own notes particularly for this part, so that you can have a look before exam. Now for lac insect, you can only follow Elements of Economic Entomology. That is enough. Helpful and beneficial insects, these things usually students avoid, but many a times 1 or 2 questions might come from this particular group. So for this, I will recommend you first you read Elements of Economic Entomology, and apart from that, particularly for use of insects and insect products in medicines, insects as bioindicators, usefulness of insects in scientific investigations, these particular things, please go through from different internet sources such as scientific blogs, because in scientific blogs you can be able to find many new things. So this type of things which are recent advancement or recent investigations, so you need to see all these things very carefully, which you cannot be able to get any books. So you need to read all these things from different internet sources such as scientific blogs. Now the last part, that is 19th unit, which is a very important thing, that is statistics and computer applications. So I will recommend you to go through the notes in your BSc agriculture time, where statistics used to be your one course. So you can read that. If you don't have, no need to worry, you can download it from TNU e-notes. So you can download it and read it. Apart from that, if you want, so you can see some YouTube videos regarding different tests like t-test, f-test, chi-square, Duncan's multiple range test, etc. Also, to know some basics about different statistical software like SPSS, then SAS, all these things you can be able to get from the different YouTube videos. So if you really want to read all these things, so you can follow such some YouTube videos which are available randomly in internet. So in this point we have covered entomology syllabus as a whole. Now what will happen about plant path? What about nematology? And what about sericulture? So what you need to do, you need to go to their syllabus, like plant pathology syllabus, nematology syllabus and sericulture syllabus, and according to that syllabus you need to read it accordingly. So one thing we can do it for you, we'll provide what are the books that is needed to cover in plant pathology, nematology as well as sericulture, so that you can get an idea, and all the links of that books will be given in the description box. So these are different books needed for entomology that I have already mentioned, and for quick grasp you can follow entomology refresher, entomology treatise for ICAR PhD and ASRB net exam. Basically, if you are preparing for ICAR PhD, that means you are basically preparing for ASRB also. Now for minor subjects, there is no need to follow too many books. Like for plant pathology, what you need to follow, the first and foremost thing what you need to follow, or which can give you a foundation, that is Angrao e-notes. So the e-notes will be available as PDF form in internet sources, so you can download it from internet and read it. So this will be having the basic foundation. So after completing this, you have many choices. Like we have given 3 books. You need not to read all these 3 books. You can read any of these 2 books. Any of this, any 2 of these 3 books you can read. So you may read Plant Pathology at a Glance by UK Bhattacharya with Plant Pathology, a Competitive Vision by Manan Kashyap, or you may read Plant Pathology, a Competitive Vision by Manan Kashyap with Plant Pathology for Competitive Exam, that is M.K. Yadav. So accordingly, any 2 books of these 3 you can read to have a confidence of answering different questions which can be come in ICAR PhD exam. Similarly, for nematology, you need to read the very basic book, that is Textbook of Introductory Plant Nematology by Walia and Bajaj, and if you have time, so you can read Advanced Nematology Refresher by Ahuja and Das for getting such confidence of answering many questions. Basically, many of the students, due to their MSc researcher, they cannot be able to get too much time. So for them, I'll only recommend you go through this Textbook of Introductory Plant Nematology. That will be enough. And for sericulture, as I have already mentioned, An Introduction to Sericulture by Ganga and Shlochana, that book will be very good and that book will be enough. If you want to practice some questions, so you can follow Objective Sericulture by Malik, Sawat and Malik. So this is the books. All these book links will be given in description box. Now for general agriculture, Nimrats on the book will be enough. For some of the cases, like some of the subjects, for reading soil science, for reading economics, for reading extension, or for reading genetics and plant breeding, you might follow Arun Kattan book as a source of general agriculture. For practicing, you can follow this R.K. Sharma book, that will be good. And what are the objective books that you may follow for entomology? Objective Entomology by T.V. Prasad, Objective Agricultural Entomology by Shravan M. Haldar, Abstracts of Agricultural Entomology and Nematology by Mandal, Kundu and De, and Entomology Questionnaire by Anoka and Rajarushi. I will not recommend you to go through all these books. Any one of these 4 you can practice. But whenever you are practicing MCQs, you need to practice it in a specified time so that you can have a experience what occurs in exam. So we are having, or we have launched our master course for ICAR PG entrance, which is going on very well, that is Shrestha course, and also we have launched Samartha course for Entomology and Nematology ICAR PG examination for the target batch 2026. So these two are our PG courses that are currently going on very well. And apart from that, which is important at this context, that we have also launched Sarva Shrestha course, that is target batch 2025, which is specifically designed for the advanced topics for ASRB net, SMO, SMS, STO and ARS prelims, at the same time ICAR PhD, in which all the materials, all the live and recorded sessions of ICAR PG entrance will be present, and apart from that, some advanced topics which is related to ICAR PhD entomology as well as ASRB net, that will be covered. So the PG courses and the PG classes are going on very well, and these advanced topics will be starting from January 2025. So if you really want to achieve your goal in ICAR PhD exam, no need to worry. Please join our Sarva Shrestha batch so that we can have you can have a good rank, or you can have secured a good rank in ICAR PhD as well as ASRB net examination. So currently there are 5 mentors who are taking classes, of which me, Sourav Chakravarty from ICAR IARI PhD, and Ritik Sarkar also from ICAR IARI MSc are handling the courses most of their time. Apart from both of us, we are having Tulsi B from ICAR IARI PhD, Jeevan H from ICAR IARI PhD Nematology, and Prabhu K Mohanty from Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, who are taking 1 or 2 or few classes based on their expertise in different times. So we are having a very good core mentors group from ICAR IRI and other state agricultural universities, which will be taking your classes. And as you know that this particular subject, entomology, it's quite memory based. At the same time, we are having many conceptual things. So in these courses, we used to teach you from the memory point of view, as well as we used to teach you to clarify your concepts in this particular subject group. So why to wait? Let us join and secure a very good rank in this kind of exams. So in our master course, which are all the things that you can have? We'll having live and recorded sessions, so we will be considering all the live classes, and subsequent recordings will be available. Apart from that, we are having 50 plus mock tests that will be topic wise, subject wise, whole syllabus test, as well as lastly we are having general agriculture test. And it's this is the kind of mock test interface which is exactly similar to ICAR, PhD, PG or ASRB net fashion. So whenever you will be attempting this kind of mock test, you will be having a similar simulation of a exam hall. So this kind of things will be very novel to us, and you can get when you can join. And there are many free mock tests that we will be providing in this particular courses. And if you want to join the paid mock test, so you can join our course. And also we have this previous year question paper discussion from 2021 to 2023, and we'll also be able to discuss all the question papers in the future, like ASRB net and SRF 2024. These papers will also be discussed, so all the recordings might be available. All these recordings might be available in YouTube as well as in our paid courses. So why to wait? Once again, you can join us at a very affordable price to have a great rank in this kind of exams like JRF, SRF and ASRB net. So that's all. Thank you for choosing us, and hopefully many things will be clear regarding ICAR PhD and ASRB net exam. Still, if you have any queries, don't forget to come write us, and we'll always be there for answering your queries.